If the leaders of the spiritual, for which is defined as of, relating to, consisting of, or affecting the spirit, for which is defined as a special attitude or frame of mind in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world, continue to lie, for which is defined as to make an untrue statement with the intent to deceive human beings in the secular, for which is defined as of or relating to the worldly, for which is defined as of, relating to, or devoted to this world and its pursuits rather than to religious or spiritual affairs in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world. Then wouldn't the human beings for whom are taught lies, for which are defined as created false and misleading impressions, for which are defined as an especially marked and often favorable influence or effects on feelings, senses, or minds, for which continue to mentally develop, for which is defined as to set forth or make clear by degrees or in detail within a spiritual world, continue to mentally as well as physically aid and abet, for which according to the Black's Law Dictionary is legally defined as to assist the spiritual leaders in line to the secular world, for which will continue to facilitate the commission of the crime that the crowd in Jerusalem committed against Jesus of Nazareth of Galilee, to become legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally adjudicated, for which, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is legally defined as to rule on judiciously in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, for which is why I, for whom name is Petty Officer 3rd Class Tommy Chancey Costa Sr., am now legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally a judicially noticed fact, for whom, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is defined as a fact that is not established by admissible evidence, but may be accepted by the court because the fact is generally known within the trial's court territorial jurisdiction, or because its validity can be determined from sources whose accuracy cannot be reasonably questioned in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning. So now what I'm saying is here is that the devil wouldn't allow me as a human being to come before you in court, because the devil had power, because the devil was the judge. But what I did is I turned into a case, and that case is now admissible. See, so that's why I am a what you call a fact. Let me see. A judicially noticed fact. See, because I am now the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights in human form. Because once I defended myself, then I became my defense. See, just like if you do any kind of martial arts or whatever, you become a weapon because you have these skills. Well, it's no different if you then acquire the protection of a word. See, because once the person used the word against you, you counter the person with the word. Now it's about who has the power over that word. So now if you are a judge and you are violating the Constitution, then I am the most powerful person in that court because I am a citizen. Now, the judge is supposed to know the law. So now, if the judge supposed to know the law and then violate the Constitution, then the judge knowingly violated the law. So that's premeditated. See, so the judge is using the Florida Constitution inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida like a weapon. See, like you as a regular citizen would use a knife or a gun or a bat or anything, any kind of weapon. So if you in the court of law, see, you have no weapons because they make sure when you come in the court that you have no weapons, right? But they have weapons. The judge have a gun, the bailiff have a gun, because the bailiff is the sheriff, right? So they have the authority to kill me, but then they took my right away to defend myself, right? Now, if I would have acted ignorant, then the written word wouldn't cover me because they would have used the written word to describe my actions, which they did anyway. But see, when my actions didn't fit their description, then I was able to describe them violating their canons, and now I'm educating the people on the situation. So now, see, this is why I'm a judicially noticed fact, for whom, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is defined as a fact that is not established. See, even though I'm established inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida ever since August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, and then I was established in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida ever since February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, I have yet to be established in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world. See, because if you are in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world, do not know about what's going on inside of the courts houses, then that doesn't mean that it's not legally established. It just means that it's not widely known. So see, that's why I have to come here to tell you about what I did for us, because we the people. Now, if we the people, who is the judge? See, if the judge violated the Constitution, then the judge is not part of we the people. The judge is now a domestic enemy to the Constitution. Now, see, the judges feel as though the citizens are ignorant to the law. So they act with impunity, right? Like they feel like they never gonna be brought to bear for what they sow. So see, as long as they keep us ignorant, ignorance become a weapon. See, just like the law is a weapon, then the ignorant becomes a weapon to the ignorant, and it becomes a burden to the wise. Because now what can the wise do? See, because if you act ignorant, then how can you claim to be wise? So now I have to hold my position, because if not, then the judge for whom I just took the law from is going to look like that they are judicially powerful. So now that's why I am a judicially noticed fact, and they are now criminals of the justice system. See, because the judges in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida are now complicit in violating the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, the United States Declaration of Independence, statutory law, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Ten Commandments inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida ever since August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, as well as on October 15th in 2023 at 5:39 in the morning. So now so I'm a fact that is not established in hoods, communities, projects, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world by admissible evidence, but may be accepted in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world, because the fact is generally known within the courts, trial courts, territorial jurisdiction. So see, people in hoods and projects and communities know about criminal law because they or somebody they know have been criminally prosecuted. So what I'm saying to those of you who have been victims or who have been brought to justice because of your crime, if you committed the same crime that's being committed against me and you had to pay restitution to the state, well, if the state now has committed that same crime that you committed, well, why wouldn't the state have to pay restitution to me? See, why did you have to pay for the crime that you committed against a citizen in the state that you committed the crime in, but the state of Florida, through its elected officials, can commit that same crime against me and then put me in jail as if I was you? See, so if I didn't commit a crime, then am I not now defending you? Just like the judge said that it was defending the state against you. See, or the federal government said that it was defending the federal government against you, the lonely citizen. So now, if I'm a lonely citizen fighting the elected officials in the state, why would we the people be against me? I didn't put your child in prison. I'm trying to get your child out of prison. I didn't put your child in a detention center. I'm trying to get your child out of the detention center. See, I didn't put your child in prison. I'm trying to get him out. See, but you take your child to church, temples, synagogues, mosques. But I went to Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church in Edenville, Florida, just like Jesus went to the temple in Jerusalem. And Jesus, once he went into the temple in Jerusalem, he was put on a cross on Calvary. Once I went to the church in Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church, I was put on a cross in the community. See, because now the spiritual world is now against me. But I'm saying, well, if I am in accordance with the Florida Constitution and the Florida Constitution give me freedom of religion, how then can I be persecuted and it not be against the Florida Constitution, Section 3 of the Florida Constitution, right? That says, okay, the Florida Constitution, Section 3, that says religious freedoms. There shall be no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting or penalizing the free exercise thereof. Religious freedom shall not justify practices inconsistent with public morals, peace, or safety. No revenue of the state or any political subdivision or agency thereof shall ever be taken from the public treasury directly or indirectly in aid of any church, sect, or religious denomination, or in aid of any sectarian institution. So, well, if you done took some money, well, how would I know if Pastor Willie C. Bonds took some money out of the tithes that was collected in the church to put a hit out on me? but I know I went to him, and I know that according to the Bible, they put a hit out on Jesus of Nazareth of Galilee for 30 pieces of silver. See, now how can I now check the books, or how can I now find out? But I know that if some people from Macedonia came and tried to flip my mind. See, I know that, and it's some religious people that came to me that was just like the goats. When they found out I was a king, they tried to then slander me. See, these black people in Orlando, Florida, and Lake Mary and Edenville, they've been trying to flip me, right? But I'm saying, if they win, what do the people in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, temples, synagogues, mosques, churches, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world win? See, because I'm trying to give you what they taken from me, and I'm asking them why. See, like, if I work for everything I have, what do you deserve from my work? See, if I got it by the sweat of my brow, and I'm trying to give a child who come from the projects that I came from. See, okay, say if I didn't even care about nobody else in the projects all over the world, right? What about the project that I came from? South Street Projects in Daytona Beach, Florida, and Griffin Park in Orlando, Florida. See, what about my friends who I growed up with in the projects? So I'm not supposed to think about my neighbor, but you say they not my neighbor no more. But it's nothing in the Bible says that your neighbor will never not be your neighbor if you move away from your neighbor, because you became friends because you was neighbors. So now, should the friendship cease because you move? Then was you ever a real neighbor? See? So I'm asking my friends, are you my real friends? Because I didn't leave you. See, I not only thought about you, I thought about your creation, because now we fathers. See, we not just friends, we fathers. So we have creations that we should think about. You see what I'm saying? See, we shouldn't think about what has happened to us. We should think about what would happen to our children if we don't do something about what's happening to us. See, that's why when they came after me, I saw them coming after us. But see, I see now, that's like a Dr. Martin Luther King trait, or a Minister Malcolm X trait, or Mr. Mega Wiley Evers trait, or Mr. Frederick Douglass trait, or Mr. Dick Gregory's trait. See, those people there, they call us outspoken. See, but if you have something to say, then why wouldn't you speak out? See, because how do you speak up? See, you speak out, you stand up. You don't speak up, you stand up, and then you speak out. See what I'm saying? But, so, okay, so now, if you, so my basic rights, so now I'm showing you that I have religious freedoms, but I also have basic rights that Pastor Willie C. Bonds have aided and abetted Senator Bill Nelson in taking from me, because I'm a veteran. So my chain of command, after the courts, judges violated the Constitution, the chain of command taught me to call to my senator. So I called my senator. He aided and abetted the judges in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida of violating the Florida Constitution as well as the United States Constitution. Now, what I'm saying now to the United States Armed Forces, well, what was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to take the money and leave the senator and this crooked pastors in positions of power, and they are violating the oath that we took as of armed forces to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So now I show you an enemy of the Constitution that you took an oath to defend, and now you have now paralyzed me. But look, I have basic rights, which is, this is Florida Constitution, Section 2, basic rights. I'm defending not only my basic rights, but my wife's basic rights, and my daughter basic rights, and my son basic rights, because I am their leader. I am my children's creator. I am my wife's husband. So now, as with that authority over Four Castles Incorporated, I then consolidated us, put them in my bosom, right, which is in your chest. See, not just a woman. See, you got bosoms too. See, they just say it's a chest. So if a man grab his family like a football and go into this volatile situation, he has to use his basic rights. See, that says all natural persons, female and male alike, are equal before the law and have inalienable rights, among which are the right to enjoy and defend life and liberty. So now, by me defending my life and liberty inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, the state of Florida, through its elected officials, have denied me the right to defend my life. And now my liberty has been taken for 15 years without legal authority. I have went to the spiritual world, and I have went to the court system. I have went to family and friends, and nobody is in accordance with the law. So now, if black people don't have basic rights in their own understanding, then what is basic about our blessing? We don't even have basic rights, but yet the spiritual world is selling us on an afterlife. But yet they are not even telling us the laws that would give us prosperity for eternity. See, so how can a people that don't know their basic rights, how would they survive a legal battle? They don't even know that they have a basic attack that they could do. They don't even know. So now, if they're taught to pray to a God instead of taught to go and use their basic rights that's given to every natural person. See, this is what I'm saying. What is a Muslim? What is a Christian? What is an atheist? What is that, a natural person? See, but the Bible says that each kind was made after their kind. So now a Muslim only protects a Muslim. But when do a Muslim protect humanity? Christians only protect Christians. When do Christians protect humanity? So now, is not God and Allah humanity if they are the universe? Wouldn't the universe have more humanity than a man? At least a hurricane warned you before it comes. A storm warned you, you could see it, right? Now, dogs and everything will warn you about hurricanes or tornadoes. Like they say, when the dogs start moving, that's when people start going to the shelters, because they can feel it, right? But you probably can feel it too, but it's too much hell in you, so you can't feel retribution. See, that's why you don't know that you are now in judgment. See, but if you lie to the universe, then what the universe gonna do with the next generation? See, wouldn't the next generation have to be saved by from your lie? So let me go back, because I gotta go, so I'm not gonna talk a whole hour. I gotta go. For which is defined as Okay, now what I'm showing you now, that's the establishment. So I'm going back so we can stay current. So so now I'm showing you that I'm a judicially noticed fact for whom, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, is a fact that is not established but admissible evidence, but may be accepted by the court because the fact is generally known within the trial courts, territorial jurisdiction, or because its validity can be determined from sources whose accuracy cannot be reasonably questioned. Okay, now, so that now to satisfy that version of the law, I'll go to Amendment 14. See, now we're in the United States. So this for all 50 states and territories. I go to Amendment 14, Section 4. See, now we talking about the validity. So now it says the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payments of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion. See, now where this happened is it started in Jerusalem. See, because they said that Jesus started a rebellion. Now that rebellion is now being adjudicated in accordance with Section 4 of Amendment 14 to the United States Constitution inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida ever since August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as inside of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida ever since February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, as well as on October 15th in 2023 at 5:55 in the morning. Right? And it says now, so that means you shouldn't question it because of those dates and times. So now, how can you now have me broke in exile and you study making money against the validity of the public debt? So see, when they raising the debt ceiling and all that, that's against Amendment 14, Section 4. That's an illegal debt. But see, the black people don't understand that I'm sitting here protecting us and our children from this illegal debt. But you all is allowing them to give us the illegal debt, but you're allowing them to take the corporation away from our children that would allow them to pay the debt that's illegal. See, but now, I'm saying, well, hey, if you're going to give us this illegal debt, then why would you take my corporation away? So you won't let me pay for it with the value of my truth inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, nor did you allow me to pay for it inside of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning. But now you're going to take my company away and then make my children have to ask you for a job. And now if you don't give them a job, then they going to have to ask you for assistance, as if what their grandmother and what their grandfather or what their mother and their father did was illegal. But you, the state of Florida, as well as the United States of America, is the illegal party inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida. So now, why should my children have to pay for your sin? See, why? That's not biblical. That's not legal. If I'm in court proving that my family do not owe the United States of America 1 penny, but the United States of America owe me $30 trillion. Whether you believe it or not, I don't care. But I know that I'm fighting in the country, for the country, inside of the courthouse. Now, y'all out here in the hoods, projects, communities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons inside of the United States of America, as well as the state of Florida, needing this blessing. But you denying it out of ignorance. So who taught you ignorance intelligently if it's not your spiritual teachers? Now, okay, so now So it said, but neither the United States. So see, this when the United States, when it bailed itself out, is violating the law. See, because it says, but neither the United States nor any state. So that means the state of Florida or any 50 of the 50 states and the territories is not supposed to aid or when it say, but neither the United States nor any state shall assume. So that means when we got that debt, see, we shouldn't assume it or pay. See, so it's not our debt. And I'm in court fighting for we the people. See, not black people, not just my wife, not just my children. I'm fighting for we the people. White, black, Puerto Rican, Mexican. See, anybody in the United States of America, I'm saying that if you are not part of the corporate structure of America, you do not owe these people not one penny. Because I defended we the people inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning. And that's when the United States nor any state should have assumed or paid any debt or obligation incurred in the aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning. Or any claim for the loss or emancipation of any slave, for which is when I emancipated Queen Benita Elaine Elch Castle of Four Castles Incorporated, Princess Tamika Rayshawn Castle of Four Castles Incorporated, Prince Tommy Chancey Castle Jr. of Four Castles Incorporated, as King Tommy Chancey Castle Sr. of Four Castles Incorporated. So how do a slave go to his rightful place if the devil didn't give him the opportunity? So now, once Dr. Martin Luther King gave me the legal right to introduce myself as King Tommy Chancey Castle Sr. of Four Castles Incorporated, I then took my family, protected them in an entity, and then took that entity into the courthouse and freed it, and then covered it because Adam left my family uncovered, and he and his wife had to then sew fig leaves together to cover their nakedness. But what I did is I took the fabrics of the United States of America as well as the spiritual world, and I covered my family. See, I used the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, the United States Declaration of Independence, statutory law, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Ten Commandments, the Holy Bible, and the Holy Quran inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, and wrapped it around my family. Wrapped it. But you all still worship a flag. But what about the covenant? The agreement between God and you. See, my children and my wife rap with it. The agreement. See, between man and God, between woman and God. So who is God? If I wrap my family around and I put a hedge of protection around my family that Adam left his family without, then how am I not greater than Adam? How am I not greater than Abraham? Ask my daughter or my son or my wife that I ever promised them anything and I didn't fulfill it. I'm fulfilling it now because I'm showing them that if you think I didn't, it's because I had to go get the person who made it look like I didn't. See, so now I'm showing them that even though you think it wasn't so. see, that's a man that shows that his word is his bond. Now check this. For which is when I, for whom name is Petty Officer 3rd Class Tommy Chancey Castle Sr. of the United States Navy, legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally became the Florida Constitution, for which is how I, for whom name is President Tommy Chancey Council Sr. of Four Councils Incorporated, was able to legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally walk into the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida as the Florida Constitution on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, and out of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning as the United States Constitution, which is why I, for whom name is King Tommy Chancey Council Sr. of Four Councils Incorporated, am now legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally asking God, for whom is Allah's children in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world, as well as Allah, for whom is God's children in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world. When will the truth, for which is defined as the body of real things, events, and facts in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, or federally save human beings in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world from the leaders of the spiritual world, which is why I, for whom name is King Tommy Chancey Council Sr. of Four Councils Incorporated, am now asking God's children, Allah's children, and my for whom name is King Tommy Chancey Council Sr.'s atheist children in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world. How can Armageddon, for which is defined as the state or time of a final and conclusive battle between the forces of good and evil, not be revelations, for which are defined as an apocalyptic, for which is defined as forecasting, for which is defined as to calculate or predict some future event or condition, usually as a result of study and analysis of available pertinent, for which is defined as having a clear, decisive, for which is defined as having the power or quality of deciding relevance, for which is defined as practical, for which is defined as of, relating to, or manifested in action in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, and especially socially applicability in hoods, projects, communities, schools, colleges, universities, churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, detention centers, jails, and prisons all over the world inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as inside of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida. See, what I'm saying is, if my truth cannot save me, what truth is in the spiritual world? Because in my analysis, reading the Bible, and it's easy to forecast that tomorrow is going to have to deal with what happened in the courts. See, because how can you continue to hide me if I'm public knowledge? Now, do you then go and take the roots, the legal roots and historical roots and biblical roots and religious roots and spiritual roots and financial roots and mental roots and federal roots? You just going to take all them roots out and then continue to lie? So when the children find out about the lie that you're telling, then what truth is going to save you?